let's talk about the Get Covered Twitch event that happened on December 12th. So, December 12th, 3 days before December 15th, was a cutoff for signing up for the health insurance for 2017, so you don't get taxed via the Affordable Care Act, which was the only reason the Supreme Court verified it can exist is because it's a tax, which was surprising and shocking because a Republican Supreme Court justice said, "Hey, it's a tax. It can stand." And the rest of Republicans are like, "What the fuck did you do, Justice Roberts?" Anyway, I'm not going to go off on that, but I will get into politics a little bit just because I have to when I talk about this. But what was the Twitch Get Covered event? It was at the White House, which I'm going to assume it was the White House because for all I know, it could have been in some high school gymnasium with a nice backdrop. But everyone was dressed in a suit and tie, including my buddy Andre Meadows, I think, was there. Like, he was there for the event, but not. I don't remember seeing him on the Twitch event. Then again, I did not watch all 4 hours or 5 hours. I sort of just cut through it like quickly, sort of skimmed it. It was about, from what I saw, about a third gaming and about 2/3 talking about why you should get covered, why insurance is a good idea. For the record, health insurance is a great idea to have. I'm not going to deny that. Now, how health insurance has been implemented through the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, that's the huge debate that the country is still not really sure about, and most Americans don't like where it's ended up. I'll try to stay away from that conversation too much politically, but I want to get into more about what this event was. So you had some bigger Twitch people, you had some YouTubers on there. You even had some heartfelt stories from like the creator of That Dragon Cancer, or his 4-year-old unfortunately died of cancer, talking about how health insurance helped out his family because of the high cost. Again, health insurance itself isn't the issue here. The issue is what this event was and what it did and what it did not do. So from what I saw, they live streamed stuff like Street Fighter V. They live streamed Rocket League, that fun car soccer game, stuff like that. And in between that had anecdotes about the ACA and why you should sign up. But the problem I have with this event, the main problem, not for the people involved with it, Twitch, I don't know what they get out of it. Maybe they got an in with the White House, someone on the tech side, lobby. I have no idea. The problem is that this is an inherently biased event politically. Without try not to choose a side politically, but only one political party passed this ACA act. That's redundant. Only one political party passed the ACA, and the other party didn't vote on it at all. So one party owns this out there. So the Twitch audience start young, 12, they can't buy their own insurance, but goes up until like the mid to late 20s and the 30s. So in order for the Affordable Care Act and the insurance exchange and the insurance companies to make money off of this, which, by the way, the insurance companies helped write the Affordable Care Act, which is one big fucking reason why I'm against it, or was to begin with, because they were guaranteeing themselves profit when writing the law. The main audience are the ones that keep this going, because the younger people that make even a decent amount of money don't qualify for the subsidies, which are tax credits to help pay for the insurance. And we are paying into the system to help out us. We are actually paying for other people to get insurance to make it affordable. So on the surface, this law has winners and losers. People like me are less likely to use it because we are healthier, because we are younger and or active. But overall, a 30-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 20-year-old, less likely to use it versus a 50-year-old, 60 and 70. That's just the odds. That's the way it makes sense for something like this to happen. You need the younger people to support the older ones in the system. It's like Social Security. Everyone's paying in. That money's going to be waiting for me, hopefully, but where's that money going to right now? It's going to someone else. So the problem with this event was that it was more about, why you personally should get healthcare insurance, but not what goes into the decisions that, from what I saw. So, for example, when you go on this the exchange, which again, if you're covered through your company, most of this conversation won't mean anything to you because the majority of Americans get health care through their full-time job. which the ACA affected as well. Won't get into that. Let's just talk about who actually uses these exchanges. And there's two types of exchanges. There's a federal exchange, the one that's totally was fucked up when it launched. Remember, they couldn't get it working for months. It cost a few $100 million. To me, a national disgrace that it cost so much and didn't work, and couldn't even the calculator was even working on the website. I mean, this wasn't just me talking about this, or this isn't any left or right bias. This is fact. Go back and look up at how much of a disaster that was. What was that, 4 years ago? Trying to get that up and running. So there's that. And then thankfully I'm in California, which built their own state exchange, which actually works. So when you search for insurance, you put in your information, how much you made. You can say, Pat, do they trust you? Well, then you have to either, if you qualify for a subsidy or tax credit, which is what it really is, you have to upload either proof of income or your last year's W-2, showing that, hey, I'm not lying, that I'm only making $2 a year. So, but then you pick your plan, and this is why this Twitch stream bothered me, or at least rubbed me the wrong way, because what's important for young people to know is different types of healthcare insurance. Should you go with the bronze plan, which is more like an emergency plan, versus a silver plan, versus a gold plan, versus a platinum plan? What do those things mean? What is a deductible? What is a premium? What is a max out-of-pocket cost? What's a co-insurance? What does 10% co-insurance mean? Is that better than 90% co-insurance? These are questions that hopefully on the federal exchange answers. On the California site, you can look up some of this stuff. But these are questions that you really should be imparting to your audience. Should you take the risk, if you're younger, go for a cheaper plan with a lower premium but maybe a high deductible? And so maybe that'll cost you $2,000 a year, but then if you get really sick, it might cost you, I don't know, $8,000, versus going for a plan where the premium might then cost you $4,000 a year, but then the maximum out-of-pocket cost is only $5,000. Maybe one has a better drug plan than another. See, this is important info. Playing Rocket League, while fun, is not imparting information to someone to make an informed decision about their life and their health that's very important to them and to their wallet. By sort of making this an event that made the gaming the main attraction, what you're doing then is, I think, subverting the message. And then it turns into a form of, I don't want to say it like that, I think it becomes soft propaganda at that point. And I hope that's not too strong. That's why I said soft. Because at the very best, what you're doing is having people go and buy insurance for something and having them not be informed enough. At the worst, though, you're having them make horrible decisions that maybe they shouldn't be getting. Now you can say, "Oh, Pat, well maybe they're not aware of this to begin with." First of all, I don't know how they are, because you've been taxed on it already. This was the first year you were taxed last year if you didn't have health insurance, so you are aware of it, that you have to get insurance or you're taxed. But then second of all, why is it 3 days before the deadline? Why not do it a month before? You know what I mean? Like, why not have this be a whole outreach? Why not have events leading up to this with scheduled events on Twitch through the White House? Why just one fucking 5-hour weird-ass event where people play Street Fighter for 20 minutes and then someone comes on and say, yeah, I broke my leg last year and it was paid for. Again, health insurance is a great idea. This just was sort of a weird way to convey that health insurance is a good idea. And again, if you're lacking all the information, I don't know. I just think it's strange. It just doesn't ring true. But again, they want the impressionable Twitch audience. They're the ones who help prop the system up, which is one of the reasons why you could be seeing the death spiral of the ACA, because not enough young people are buying into it. A lot of them are rather taking the tax instead. Hopefully they didn't buy it hook, line, and sinker without realizing that, hey, there's some real decisions involved here. The good news, though, with the ACA is not at all bad. There's pre-existing conditions that were there, which, well, you could have done that without the ACA. There's ways of doing that, which I won't get into. And also, you can stay on your parents' insurance until you're 26. So I'm guessing most of those Twitch, maybe the whole message was lost because most of the Twitch audience, they're 13 years old, 14 years old. They're already on their parents' insurance, so maybe it's okay. I don't know. All I know is my insurance plan sucks dick. I'm paying a ton. I know other people, again, this isn't a right or left issue. I know a friend in another state that's going to be paying a ton of money, had a choice between only 2 plans. I'm lucky. I'm in California, one of the biggest states in terms of health insurance options. I had about 25 options, none really good. A couple of ones were like, okay, I'm going to be paying a lot more I want to. But for someone with only 2 choices, I feel bad. But that's why, again, this is an unpopular law overall.